Well, 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 back for more, are you? You're gonna make me blush. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Bloodstained Wings, and today I thought we would do a very different painting. It looks something like this. Ta-da! It is a sci-fi fantasy painting of an alternate world in which the jellyfish rule this bamboo forest, and the bamboo grows purple. And I just thought it would be lots of fun to do something a little bit different. So if you want to grab your paintbrush and paint along with me, feel free to join us. Let's go! Okay, hello everyone. As you saw from the intro, this painting is a little bit different, and I'm really excited to get started. So as per usual, I'm going to be taking my goop, which is Neo Maglip from Gamblin', and I'm just going to cover my entire canvas, as per usual, in what Bob Ross would call the liquid clear. Just a really thin coat of it everywhere. And now I'm actually going to grab a little bit of the white to make it like liquid white, and cover the whole canvas in white. All right, now that we have a nice thin coat of liquid white, I'm gonna actually do something a little bit crazy. And I actually got a new color recently called Quinacridone Violet. So it's a pre-mixed purple color. And I think it might be a little bit too pink, but here's the color. I'm using Gamblin' paint, not sponsored, but that's what I'm using. I think I'm actually gonna mix it with a little bit of Prussian blue just to make it a little bit darker, and to make it a little bit more purpley than pink. Oh yes, oh that's a nice color. I've made quite a lot of it because we're going to be using quite a bit of it. That is a beautiful color. All right, we're ready. So my paintbrush still has a little bit of white in it, and that's fine. Actually, you know what? No, I'm going to keep that one with white. We're going to keep that one different. I'm going to grab another brush. Yes, it's a bigger brush, but that's okay. And I'm going to go into that color that I just made with the quinacridone yellow with a little bit of the Prussian blue in it. I'm going to start at the bottom and try to make it dark, but not go all the way to the top. And then I'm going to add more white to the top to make it brighter at the top. That's the idea here. And when I add the white, I'm going to blend everything so that it looks really good. Take a little bit more and add a little bit more to the bottom here. All right, and now I'm just gonna blend it out. There's not much left on my brush, so. And now I can go ahead and grab more of the white and just kind of make a light spot up in the sky. And then pull down to give the effect of some light happening. So I just grabbed a little bit more white to brighten up the sky again, and pulling a little bit out so that we get the idea that there are some rays of sunshine. We're just kind of gently blending as we go. There we go. And now we have some nice light coming out. And now is the part where we start getting really excited about things. So I hope you're ready to get excited about things. So I'm grabbing a little bit of the titanium white. I'm adding a little bit of that mixture of quinacridone violet and Prussian blue. We're going to be using that color a lot, so please stay tuned for all of the mixtures of it. So we've got a color that is hopefully just a little bit lighter than this and is approximately the same color as this up here. And we're going to kind of add little sticks. So we're just taking the palette knife and gently pushing down to make little sticks. I'm going to do the same thing over here. Just gently touching the canvas, letting it pick up what it wants, and then just moving on. I have one a little angled, I think. Just a little. There we go. I think we'll have one more over here. Maybe this one comes off of this guy and goes this way. There. Ran out of paint, but that's okay. Just tap more in. There we go. So that's our first line. So now what I'm going to do is take a little, like a smidge more, like not a lot more, of the quinacridone mixture. And I'm going to mix it on my brush here. Oh, I grabbed too much. Of course I did. Of course I grabbed too much. Classic me. There we go. Mix it in with a little bit of the white to make it more bright. And now we're just going to make little indications, just little lines. And you want to make sure they're like scooping lines. And they're just a hair darker than the rest of it. Not much, very, very subtle. If you're having trouble getting these stick, you can thin down and that'll work as well. But it's more about texturally different than it is about colorly being different. But we do theoretically want both, so. And the idea is that these little lines will make these look like bamboo shoots. Or trees. Oh, are they trees or are they shoots? Comment below. I guess the shoots are when they're like still budding, and the trees are when they're like big like this. Okay, there we go. And went back into the lighter color. My liner brush, and I'm just thinning it down slightly with some of the goop, and I'm just gonna go ahead and draw some bamboo leaves. which are honestly pretty basic, which is really nice when you're trying to do something. To have something really basic to do, it makes it real easy. Just kind of swipe. Just kind of make swiping motions. You want to make sure they're coming off of both sides. Gotta thin it down a little bit more. There we go. And the more of these that you do, the more natural it's going to look. So you just want to add as much as your heart contents, as much as you'd like. And remember that if you're doing this along with me, it's your painting and you can do whatever you want to do because it's your world. You have control over this in your world. If you want to have 14 of these, you can do 14 of these. If you want to have 7, you have 7. And if you want to make these green because you think bamboo should be green, feel free to do so. Who am I to argue? My bamboo is purple because I wanted it to be purple. And because I bought a new color and I wanted to play with the new color. There we go. Now a lot of these are going to be mostly invisible, and that is okay. Like that one you can barely see, but I know it's there, and that's the important part, is that I know it's there. All right, and now we're ready to go to the next darker shade. So I'm going to take that lighter color that I mixed, and I'm going to add just a smidge, like the tiniest smidge, of more color to it to make it slightly darker. Actually, I'm gonna double that smidge. I want it to be visibly darker than the other one. There we go. And now we're going to grab that. And you can see it is visibly darker. And that's because this one is going to be slightly further away from the light. And that's why it's darker. Oh. Using up a lot of paint here. There we go. I accidentally touched it where I didn't want to, and that's okay. We'll just make it another one. And that is part of the joy of painting, is that there are no mistakes. You just go ahead and work with what you got there. And that's fine. See, you just add more as you want to. There we go, okay. So now I've made a darker color. It is slightly darker than the one we had previously. Hopefully anyways. It might be the exact same color. Let's find out. I think it's the same color. Let's get a little bit more of that dark color in there. There we go. And this guy just decided he wanted to be on top. He was like, yeah, I'm on top of this. This is my painting. And I was like, oh, okay. There we go. All right, now we're gonna add the leaves like we did on the other one. Literally exactly the same thing that we did on the other one. We're gonna do the same thing here. This painting may take a little bit longer than my other paintings. I think that's okay. There we go. There we go. Oh, camera tilted a little bit. Let's tilt it back up, shall we? There we go. And now we'll just add some more. I'm being very gentle with my brush strokes here. These are very visible up top here. There we go. And like I said, the more of these you add, better it's going to look overall. So just feel free to take your time with it. Add as many as you would like. There's no rush. No reason you couldn't do 37 of them if you wanted to do 37 on each thing. You just keep doing as many as you want. I think I'm going to add another right here. There. You see? Now, a lot of this is going to get covered up by the next ones, but that's okay. We're going to do the next ones. So I'm going to take that color that I have mixed, so it's kind of this kind of tone, and we're just going to add another chunk of the dark purple to it. And then we're just going to add more trees. going right over top of that because that's how I felt I wanted that tree to grow. There we go. Oh, there we go. A little roll of paint here. And then we're just going to add another one. There we go. I think I've got enough paint here to do one more, so I'm going to do one more. A little bit of white in that, and that's okay. There we go. And again, we're just going to grab a little bit of the dark paint mixed on our brush to try and make it slightly darker than the color that we just had. This is all about values and making those values slightly darker so that it gives it the perception of depth. And that's what we're looking for here, is the perception of depth. Even if it's mostly fake. Well, it's not actually further behind there, but it kind of looks like it because it's a different color. There we go. Just wherever you think they should go, that's where they should go. I'm just thinning down the previous paint. I got a little bit of it left, so I want it to kind of last as far as I can get it to go. And we're just going to add a few more things. Oh, that's a big one. That's a big one. I'm just gonna make more of that color because I need more of it, so I'm just gonna make more of it. There we go. Should be about right. There we go. Glides right over everything. There we go. Just gonna do all the ones on this side first, I think. It's gonna make my life easier. There we go. There we go. Nice little leaves. And I'm just gonna switch to doing the other side, and then we can do a bunch of things. Really, we can do anything we want. This is our world, and we can do whatever we want. We already made bamboo purple, so really, nothing's stopping us now. Let's put this one here. And let's put this one here. Let's put one here. I'm just having fun now. Not sure you guys can stop me. I hope you guys are enjoying these videos so far. I hope they have been worth waiting for. If you guys have any suggestions as to what you would like to see me paint, feel free to leave a comment. And I'll see what I can do. Can't guarantee I'll paint it, but if there's anything that you have been painting that you have been having trouble with, feel free to leave a comment below, especially if it's in the Bob Ross style, the wet on wet technique. If you're having trouble with something, please feel free to leave a comment and I will discuss things in regards to how to do it better. Because it might be that you're going about it the wrong way. You might be going about it the right way and it might just be the wrong paint. Because that's also a problem that happens a lot. I find that sometimes paints are either too thin or I'm not keeping in mind the thickness to thinness ratios correctly. And that can sometimes play a major role that you don't necessarily know about when you're new at painting. I'm going to do one more over here, I think. I'm getting carried away. I shouldn't do that. Should we do one more row of colored trees? Or should we leave room? I'm going to do one more row, I think. Just one. It's not that big of a deal. I want this to be fairly darker than the other ones, I think. Well, there we go. That's nice. It's not too dark, but it's pretty dark. I'm going to just do one more row of these and probably 3 again, because that seems to be the number I'm liking today when I'm doing these paintings. Let's make that guy nice and thick because he's in the foreground. Well, he's closer to us than the other guys, and that's why he is darker. They. I should say they. Well, I mean, to be fair, it is bamboo. It grows in all kinds of thicknesses and all kinds of things, so really, just because it's thicker does not necessarily mean that it's closer to us. It could just mean that it's older. That is also true. It's bamboo, after all. I think I might just leave it at 2. I think 2 looks really good. I don't want to argue too much with it if it already looks good, you know? Just thin that down a little bit. There we go. Hopefully this is darker. Oh, it is just darker, but that's okay. That's all we need. Where did I put the last one? Oh geez, they're really invisible. Ooh, those are invisible. There we go. Okay. Woo. Going back into the color that was the same as the bottom of the tree. And we're just going to paint a few more of those leaves. Leaves. There we go. There we go. There we go. Just gonna add one more here from that side of the tree because I felt like it, but also I messed that one up a little bit because my paint was not exactly there. So let's just add that back in. There we go. There we go. That looks really nice. So now we have a nice bamboo forest all set up. So, whew, next things next. We are going to really mess the whole thing up. And I hope you guys are ready for that. I'm just joking. We're going to actually take some of the quinacrium violet and we're going to mix it with alizarin crimson and have another crazy mixed color. But, you know, I like my mixed colors, so that's happening. Proportionally, a lot more of the alizarin crimson is what I have mixed currently. All right, and now we're gonna take, so I have two fluffy brushes. One of them I'm gonna use as the highlight, and one of them I'm gonna use as the darkness. So keep that in mind. And that's so that I don't have to clean my brush every time. And I'm gonna be pulling straight down, so just straight down when I'm gathering the paint onto this brush, and then I'm gonna flip it over. So I pulled straight down this way, and then I'm gonna flip it over, and I'm gonna push upwards when doing the actual bushes here. And I'm gonna add some bushes. And I want some red bushes. Yeah, you heard me, we're having red bushes. And now, I'm gonna highlight that. So again, pulling straight down. I should show you. So, when taking the highlight color, I'm going straight into some white. And then I actually have some cadmium red over here. And we're gonna get real bright with it. So now you can see there's a bright red on there. And I'm going to thin it down with some of the goop. So that's my goop in the corner there. I'm gonna thin it down with the goop because otherwise it won't stick. So there's a lot of paint on here, and a thin paint will stick to a thick paint. And so now flipping the brush over, so I have that rounded edge on the top here, and now I can just touch the tops and it'll stick. There. So now we've got some orangey kind of plant life. Now I'm going into a fan brush, and I'm going to have a little river come around the side here and just sploosh with a little waterfall. There we go. And just dabby dab. And then we'll just come across here and clean up all the footsies of these bushes that are growing along the river's edge. I'm grabbing a little bit more white paint. There we go. water. Easy peasy. And now I'm going to go back into that dark color that I mixed, and I'm going to add more bushes. Actually, you know what, before I do that, I'm going to take a little bit of this white mixed with a little bit of the thin color, and I'm just really going to have a little water line right here so that it really stands out. There we go, that's better. So I just took a little bit of the thinned out white and pushed my palette knife across, and that left this nice little clean line. So, back into the darkness. Darkness. Yeah, bushes. And I think I'll have the, no, I think I'm just gonna have the water continue out that way. Well, maybe we have a little bit. Maybe the water splits right there and it comes this way. There we go. Because it does now. And there we go. And now I'm grabbing that lighter color again. I'm going to grab a bit more white to it, I think. And then just flip it over. Keeping in mind the shape that bushes make. And then I'm going to take my liner brush here and I'm just going to, actually, let's use the palette knife. It's going to be easier and faster. Let's do that. Just going to scratch in some lines before I do the highlights over there. So that way, there we go. It's underneath everything. Grab a little bit more of that orangey color. There we go. Set those bushes on fire. That's what I want. There we go. There we go. All right. Now that we have our basic landscape down, you guys can see there, we've got our landscape beautifully done. And it does look pretty sci-fi, but does it look sci-fi enough? That is the question, and the answer is no. It does not look sci-fi enough. You want to know how I know that? Because, as you guys know, it doesn't have a jellyfish in it. So obviously we need to fix that. That's a problem. Let's fix that. So I'm going to take my liner brush, and I'm going to have a little bit of the liquid white. So white mixed with the thinner color, because we want this to be fairly thinned. I might need another brush. Maybe not that one. Okay. I'm back. All right, we're gonna paint a jellyfish. So jellyfish are roughly rounded like that. Just, you know, roughly. I'm gonna blend that out. So it gives it kind of like a transparent kind of look. There we go. They got a rounded top like that, and then they have little wiggly doos that come down and do wiggly things. So let's give it a base first for the wiggly things to come out of. And then we're going to go into a little bit of, it's going to be kind of this peachy color. So it's kind of like all of the pinks and purples and reds mixed together with some white is really the color that we're going for. Kind of muted red, pink, peach kind of color. just going to do little dots for the insides, because they have little insides. Yes. And then they have wiggledy-doos. Tentacles? They might be tentacles. Tendrils? They might also be tendrils. Something along the lines of that is what we're going for. And you're just gonna kind of wiggle them out. See? Oh, fuck. This painting is gonna require a lot of editing. Oh my god. All I wanted to do was sit down because it was hurting my back. Okay. You may have noticed the camera angle move. That's okay. So add, again, just like the leaves, add as many as you would like. I'm gonna add one more in here. There we go. And now I can go ahead and wipe off my brush, go back into the white, and I can go ahead and do another. Because, you know, it's got to have a friend. Everybody's got a friend. This guy's got a friend. You know? He's not alone on his jellyfish planet. He's got a friend. He's got a friend right there. There he is, his little friend. There we go. Just highlight him again. That's better. There we go. And then he's got his little bottoms. His little bottoms. And then we go back into that pinky color. And we do the dots. So it's literally just dotting. That's all I'm doing there to make that happen. And then I want it to be behind this thing here. So do a bunch there like that. And then pull it through on the bottom. There we go. You know what? I'm having a lot of fun. I'm going to do another one. This happens a lot. I'm going to do one over here. Blendy brush. There we go. And then go right into that other color there. Just making some more of it because I'm running low. There we go. There we go. Nice little guy down there. And I think that that looks pretty good. I'm just going to blend out the top of this guy a little bit more. feel like it could use a little more blending. There we go. There we go. So now we have our jellyfish ruled bamboo forest planet all painted out. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I know I certainly did. Yeah, I just want to take this time to remind you guys that you are loved and you deserve to be loved. And I very much appreciate all the people who support me on Patreon. If you would like to join this list, please feel free to click on the links below in the description to join my Patreon, where you could get a painting every month if you are in the right tier. There are 2 different sizes for that, so please feel free to check those out. And if you just want to support this channel, there are tiers to just support the channel as well. They're a little more affordable. And I really hope to see you guys again next week. All right. This was a lot of fun. And remember, of course, I know I already said it, but I just remember that not only are you loved, but you deserve to be loved. Mwah.